popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Media popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.
Hey there, little biscuits and sun-dried tomatoes. It's your boy, Brandon Collins.
Guys, and it's Justin Brown.
And listen, we just recently did a review on Coming to America, the OG Eddie Murphy Arsenio Hall classic that we revere, that we've talked about how much we love it, right? And we had Jermaine Fowler on, who's one of the stars of Coming to America. Ooh, all right. First of all, niggas spoiling the movie, so we're going to spoil the shit out of this, but...
It's on Amazon Prime, y'all. If you haven't watched it, pause it right now. Go watch on Amazon Prime. Come on back. We'll still be here, I promise.
This is a rough one for me because it felt like when I watched this movie, I was incredibly excited. And I felt like when I watched Anchorman 2, where I was like, they took these great characters and they just like amped up the absurdity. And it just, but they didn't play it straight in this one. They played it for the laughs.
All right, so
which is why it felt weird.
So this is my thing. I've, since this was announced, I was always nervous about this film. When it started, as it was starting, as the Paramount thing was coming across the screen, I started getting fucking butterflies in my guts. I was just like, oh man, I just hope this lives up. And to your point, is like, yes, they do play up the characters for laughs, but with what you're saying, piggyback off of that, I feel like the character development that we got within the first movie, all lost. Well, they reverted back.
Sort of. I mean, I think the character development from the first one saved a lot of the moments in the sequel because you already know a lot of these characters and you love them. And I think that's why they really rode the nostalgia of the OG. Yes. And but that's where, like, I gotta admit, that's where the funniest laughs came from. The barbershop scene, Randy Watson at the end. Those are the things that made me actually laugh out loud. It was the other stuff where I was like, this feels like it's just trying too hard. Like they were trying so hard to justify this story. I thought it was going to be a plot twist where Jermaine, LaBelle, he actually wasn't the son. And I thought maybe it was going to come out that it was like Simi's son or something like that. Yeah. Because I'm like, that's par for the course given their relationship and how Simi secretly is always fucking things up. Didn't come to pass. He actually, it was just weird. And I was like, okay. I mean, for me, the only really good new addition, and this is no shots to Jermaine, was Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan going with toe-to-toe with Arsenio Hall was like some of the funniest bits in this. It's like, you don't know me. You don't know. Tracy Morgan's an idiot. He's so funny.
I was like, Arsenio Hall, throughout this entire movie, was looking like somebody's auntie.
He looked like a ghoul, right? He looked weird.
HD is not good for him.
It's the eyes and the eyeliner, right?
Possibly.
Because he kind of looked like a black lurch from Addams Family.
It's also the hair. It was a hairstyle.
There was something that scared me a little bit.
He looked a little bit. Who's that rapper that was walking around with like the little bob, almost like a white lady bob with the sunglasses? That I cannot remember this
Justin
name.
Bieber?
No, like
white lady bob.
You know who I'm saying? You know who I'm talking? He looks like somebody's auntie. It was almost like him, but Arsenio Hall was playing the older version of him.
Got it.
Like at the end when they come in to fight Wesley Snipes, when him and the smaller sisters show up, and he and he pulls out his little bow staff, and with his robe stuff like that, it looks like he's wearing a dress, and it's like, oh, somebody woke up Auntie Sue. You know what I'm saying? He looked crazy.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing black usually doesn't crack, but there was definitely some cracks in the foundation a little bit. With Arsenio, Shari Headley, who I loved in the first one, I had a huge crush on Lisa. She looked weird. She looked kind of like an avatar.
No, I
One of those. What are they called? The Navi or whatever the fuck.
I don't know. I think that she looked. I think that she looked great for her age.
Where was her sister?
Yes, that's a question I had.
What the fuck? I mean, her dad's still alive. Like, where's the sister?
Yeah.
With the McDowells and Zamunda, which that should have been hilarious. And then they had those stupid grass burger joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just let this be McDowell's. This is just like, just let that be the funny.
Well, I mean, when they jumped into that, when they the first McDowell's, I literally lost it. Actually, I'm gonna say this: I was on board 100% up until the point where Tiana Taylor, holy shit. Holy shit!
I mean, she's always been bad as fuck, but yeah, her and the daughter, the oldest daughter, I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. And even the hairdresser,
yeah. Well, I thought that because
black excellence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought Lavelle was actually. I was like, if they going to go the direction he's not, Eddie Murphy's son or whatever, that he was going to eventually get with the daughter. Because they had that tension or whatever,
and
stuff like that. But then it ended up just being like they, had the sibling rivalry or whatever the fuck. But I don't even feel like we really got enough of Lavelle and Akeem bonding. You know what I mean? It was weird. Sorry.
Before we get there,
Yeah.
so let's go back to Tiana Taylor.
Yes. Yes.
First of all, absolutely scrumptious, and that wig that she had on when she came out and they performed. I was just like, Jesus Christ. I don't care what's going on. Love her or not, you marry that woman. You marry that woman.
Oh, yeah.
You at least drop a kid or two, then you divorce. It's okay. But
she's had 2 kids, too, I think.
Huh?
I think she's had 2 kids, too.
Who, Tiana Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh, she'll have 3 fucking around with me. I'm talking about 3 more. But I thought that part was ridiculously corny. I thought it was ridiculously corny. That I literally cringed when she was singing and then he comes in and starts rapping, that whole thing.
Yeah, that was weird. That Prince song.
I cringed, dude. I was like, ugh. And then from there, the movie started going down and then up and then down and then
it
up.
Had a lot of ups
it went
and
on
downs.
a roller coaster.
It had a lot of ups and downs. It's like, I think Leslie Jones is fucking hilarious, and her and Tracy Morgan were like the new edition where it was like, okay, I get wanting to act with them, right? Like and having them part of this world because they bring something to it. I think even the James Earl Jones cameo, like when he's passing and he's watching his funeral and stuff.
That was ridiculous.
But that was a bit of a sweet moment. And I was like, okay, I kind of like this, right?
I mean, the Morgan Freeman.
Well, that's what I was like. I think Rod from Black Guy Tips actually wrote this. He's like, you had to piss someone off if you're a black actor in Hollywood and you didn't get in this movie.
Yeah.
I was expecting Denzel to pop up. I was like, damn, because they got Trevor Noah popped up out of nowhere. I was like, who else is going to be in this fucking movie?
Dude, all I'm going to say is this. Under different circumstances, I have a feeling that we would have had T'Challa pop up. I mean, like the actual character from Marvel, as
Wakanda. Wakanda and Zamunda having like a council meeting or something.
I have a feeling it would actually have happened.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things that probably could happen because I remember I saw something on Instagram where they're all filming in Atlanta, and I think it's like with Tyler Perry's studios or whatever. And Will Smith and Eddie Murphy ran into each other with Mara Lawrence, and I'm like,
when they're from
Bad Boys 3, and I'm like, oh shit, they should have I was thinking they might pop up in this thing because they had so many people. Like they even brought back Louis Anderson.
I mean, that was
so stupid. I was like, all right.
Again, looking like somebody's auntie.
Well, he plays Zach Galifianakis' mom on that basket show.
Yeah.
I think he won an Emmy, too.
Yeah, he looks crazy.
Yeah, he's always looked a little wild. But
Louis.
I did love that Colin Jost as the dude interviewing Lavelle.
Yeah.
When he's just like, the reason why you didn't finish college is because your mom's on the stuff. Like, no dad around. Okay.
He's like, yeah, my dad wasn't around. Yeah.
By the way, why did they put that wig on Jermaine at the beginning? That Afro wig, they didn't need to do that.
because they wanted him to get the fucking Killmonger.
Yeah, I did. I was surprised no one made a joke about that.
I mean, I was just like, I saw it. I was just like, they literally gave him the Killmonger. I respect it. I respected it. I wish I could do it.
Yeah, I remember Mike Brown and I were talking at the time about on the Comedy Outliers podcast. We talked about Killmonger's hairdo in Black Panther. I was like, Michael B. Jordan looking nigga. Like, that hairstyle's kind of cool though.
Yep,
I can't do it.
Nope, neither can I.
But here's the thing: like this story had potential, but then it was just like retreading a lot of the original in regards to story. It's just like kind of like it was like Rush Hour 2, where they just flipped the location, but it's essentially the same story.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, at the same time, if they're going to do this story, that like they're gonna have to rehash some of the first film, because let's be honest, it's like, where the fuck does Lavelle come from? Mm-hmm. How did this happen? How did this thing happen? So like,
he got raped by Leslie Jones.
Yeah. So I'm fine. I'm actually fine with all of that.
Okay.
I was fine with all of that, and like and again, it was all up into the
Arsenio looked crazy though in that de-aging CGI.
Well, yeah, he did.
I mean, on my 4K TV, it was like, ooh, this looks like a video game.
But I mean, obviously, how great, how good can they do it? They're also doing a movie from 88?
Yeah.
The first one came out, so it's just like, it's hard for them to do that and match that perfectly.
Yeah.
Again, 100%. The moment that they had that rap and sing, that's the point. That was the point where it started, where I'm just like, I don't know about this anymore. And then that's where it started tail spinning out of control a little bit in areas. Yeah,
because when they were doing like the whole Lavelle has to be prepared for like the challenge, and he's like trying to find his own like swag of being the king. And then that it's like eventually something's going to play out, because Lisa keeps telling Akeem you're forgetting your firstborn daughter. She's been preparing to like be Queen of Zamunda, like her whole life, like, and you were supposed to break tradition, right? That's why you found me. You went to America and stuff, and it was, for me, it was like, because you talked about the character development from the first one. For me, it was like, it makes sense because Akeem went back home and he probably got set back into more traditional ways and stuff, and he probably felt pressure because of his dad passing and stuff. I didn't quite get where he was coming from with the pressure from Wesley Snipes. Like, he just wanted to make sure he had an heir, so if he got assassinated, it would be covered, or he got the heir to protect him from a potential assassination.
So for one, it's the pressure from his dad, also the shaman who looked like an old, like a decrepit Bill Cosby.
Which one was that? Was that Eddie or Arsenio?
That was Arsenio. Pretty sure that was Arsenio.
Yeah, it was Arsenio. Yeah, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
That dude looked like the way that he looked like Arsenio now. If if Arsenio had the magic mirror, he was the evil witch, and that's like how he looks like as a normal person.
Jesus Christ!
like his powers can't fix everything, but like they can make him look somewhat human. Arsenio did not look well in this. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
He does look a little sick.
It didn't look like, because he was on The Apprentice less than 10 years ago. Yeah. He had his talk show back for a little bit, because I remember watching the episode Eddie came on. He kept pushing him to talk about stand-up and stuff. But yeah, even the pictures I see of Arsenio in this movie, I'm like, he doesn't look good.
No, he doesn't.
Considering the whole cast, for the most part, looks amazing. Like Eddie Murphy, like that's a nigga that don't crack. He got a little bit of a belly now, but holy shit, dude.
Yeah, and I mean he's definitely put on some lbs. I will say, when he was fighting with the sticks with his daughters at the beginning, I was like, you do not look comfortable with what you're doing.
Well, also like I'm all about I'm able to like suss out like stunt doubles now.
Yeah,
and so like his stunt double definitely looked a little bit different than him.
Oh, 100%.
And so I was like, okay, well, obviously he's not flipping and shit. But if there were still moments where I was like, man, Eddie still got it. He's still really fucking funny. Like the Randy Watson ending, as corny as it was, I loved it, because I'm like, one, I loved it because it's Randy Watson. I actually think I want to be Randy Watson for Halloween. I'm pretty sure it's either going to be that or Blank Man. But Jermaine's reaction to Randy Watson, he's like, oh shit, because everyone's like, oh my God, did they get like what they were saying, like Drake or somebody like that. Just Randy. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be Randy Watson. That nigga came out with a bigger belly.
So
and then he brings down the house. He actually does good.
See, that's the thing. That's
that
the
was
thing.
Hilarious.
Well, I didn't want him to bring down the house. I wanted them to keep the same energy from the first one.
No, there's too much enthusiasm.
No, I would have loved for him to bomb, because that's what made it so funny in the first one. Because he's one of those people who's bombing but doesn't realize that he's bombing, but it's going so hard.
Y'all look so lovely tonight.
Yeah, my Reverend Brown, my Reverend ever since I was a little boy. so like all of that, like I wanted to see more of that, and like watch him do like maybe an updated song, bomb terribly in it, and then him do the mic drop, walk off the stage, and then they bring somebody else in to close it out hard.
I get it, but Mr. Clarence's reaction to seeing Randy Watson and Zamunda, I was just like, there's like these little moments where I'm like, that brings the heart back and the comedy back from the original. That like, so that's the thing is like, I'm gonna have a really hard time grading this because there were some really funny moments, but there was also some really cheesy moments that like just felt forced and awkward.
All right, and just take a step back to, the character development. Lisa,
She got nothing to do in this,
and that's the thing. You're taking a girl from Queens and she's going to Zamunda, to Africa, and she's going to be a princess, right? I would have hoped that, and I guess this is the character development thing that makes it that kind of irked me. She would have made Akeem a little bit more hip. Would have gave him a little bit more, a little bit more cred. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She would have been kind of like that straight man the entire time, but it seemed like she went soft as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like she was very, very comfortable. It looked like, and
Yes.
like it just like it was weird because we didn't get enough context about what the relationship has been like over the past 30 years.
Yes.
It just like kind of jumped right in, and it's like didn't try to backtrack a little bit to fill in the blanks about Lavelle, but it didn't really give us more about like what they've been up to, how they've been raising their daughters. Like are they traditional? Are they traditional Zamunda, or do they have like some American traits that they brought over? Like we didn't get any of that really.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, there was parts from like why did they do this, and then there's like some nice moments like when John Amos he's at the McDonald's, because because Akeem's like mopping and stuff. He's like, this is always simpler or whatever. And then he's like, McDonald's came after me, son. They came after me, cease and desist. And then they said that my McDowell, blubber or McBlure.
No, not the McFlurry.
Yeah, he's like,
I forgot what the fuck they
yeah,
call
but
it.
he was like, my toppings go on the bottom. I was like, this is so stupid.
Oh yeah, I mean they had some really dumb things. They had some really dumb things which were like odes to the original, and they were just like, yeah, like that's what I wanted to see. But to the point you made earlier, it's just like if they gave us a little bit more context into what's happened in the last 30 years, that would have served the story so much better, and it would have led us into finding out about Lavelle and stuff like that, and then we could have really jumped into that.
By the way, for when Wesley is introduced, that dude is Michael Blackson, right?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing with Michael Blackson. So context for listeners, Justin and I randomly watched on YouTube, Michael Blackson was like on People's Court or some shit.
Yeah.
Because he like was supposed to go to this college show and he like canceled last minute and just like threw in some random comics, and the venue, like, the people were mad. The venue was pissed because the show ran so late because, Black people. And it was just a whole to do. So they were suing Michael Blackson for like $10,000 or something like that.
Which is basically for the deposit that they left and yada, yada, yada.
And he was just an asshole to them.
Oh, he was a fucking dick.
And so because of that, like when I saw him, I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because especially considering he doesn't have that accent in real life. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't like it. I would fast forward if like I didn't know where this was going. Yeah, it was just annoying to see him on screen. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, it's funny because like that's exactly what I thought too when I saw it. And then like, again, go on YouTube, look up the clip. he straight up was like, I had something better to do. It's like, nigga.
And these young college kids are like, obviously they were excited. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure the students were really excited. I don't know what fucking college they were at.
and they
Montclair State or some shit. They probably needed that.
I think he was a historically black college.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, I think it was. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was a black college though. But like, yeah, he was a prick. He was such a prick, trying to make fun of these kids, stuff like that. And it's like, yo, like nobody's here to be roasted. You're not gonna win this thing.
Yeah, and it was interesting what they tried to do with Lavelle and like the whole like he's getting married to Boboto, played by Tiana Taylor, because it's supposed to make an alliance between Wesley Snipes' crazy ass general who's clearly trying to kill Akeem and take over. And like, so they're warring factions, as well as make up for, I guess, General Izzy's sister is the chick at the very beginning of the first Coming to America, who Akeem made hop up like a dog. And she's been doing that for the past 30 years. I was like, and at the end, Wesley thanks him for lifting the curse or whatever. I'm like, nigga, Akeem, you could have done that probably years ago. You wouldn't have this issue.
Okay.
that was weird.
Yeah,
that was a weird.
Yeah, that was a weird thing that they threw in there. But also at the same time, how do I want to frame this? Okay, so
that's never good when you have to stop and think about what words you want to choose.
All right, so that happened 30 years ago, and like, was that a part of the treaty? All right. So after Wesley Snipes was basically defeated by the daughter, she goes, some diplomacy, whatever. So she made some sort of deal with him.
Yes.
Was that it? We never got what that actually was, what she actually did, the deal that they worked out.
I think it was a trade deal. So they were able to like both profit without having to do that through marriage of like their children.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but we don't know, and nothing was ever said to it. Like, but that's the only thing that we know that changed in the time between when they got back in that wedding.
Yeah, I think for me it was just annoying that it was just quick exposition where he's like, Akeem tells his daughter, "You're actually gonna be queen of Zamunda. Lavelle is just gonna be like our consulate,
our U.S. ambassador."
Yeah, or whatever. And I'm like, it would have been probably better if like Lavelle told her, just because I get they were having that tension as father-daughter, but I think it would have been better if like maybe all three of them were in the scene together where he's like, I really don't want to be king. It's like, you got this, because she helps him with the fucking lion task, right? And so it would have been like, I think it would have been more powerful, especially in regards to having this like family relationship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Than like the way that it panned out. I felt like it felt like it was rushed. And so I don't understand a movie that took 30 something years. They were scrambling with rewrites, or they just like, they rushed the scripts. I don't know. Like, I feel like with that much time, this shit should be hitting on all cylinders. That's why like the only sequel that's come out that like has been 5+ years, like since the previous one, the only two ones that were really good were Bad Boys 3 and Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's because they were like, well, Will Smith was like hard crazy on Bad Boys 3. He was like, we're not going to do it until we get a good story.
It's funny because I literally had the same conversation with someone, and I brought up Bad Boys for Life, and they were like, I don't know about that one. He gets, he's fucking some cartel chick, and then now she's trying to kill him. I'm just like, that's on brand for his character, and it's like, and also it's just like that's on brand for a lot of black men. You have you knock up some crazy Hispanic chick who you definitely shouldn't have been having sex with, and now you got a problem. Like, what are you talking about?
I will say, so there's a few things that really annoy me, like the singing rap thing that was bad,
atrocious.
The grass burger joke, I was like, you didn't need that. You could have just had like the last from like Louis Anderson being there. They have a fucking McDowell's in Zamunda, right?
Well, look at me now. I'm wait, because he's what. I forgot what the first one is like. Today I'm mopping the floor. Next week I'll be on fries, whatever. Yeah. Like, it's like, that Kanye wrote that song about me.
Yeah, it was wild. That was a wild one. I mean, Kenya Barris is one of the writers, so I was expecting there to be some, decent jokes and stuff I hear, but it was also like, ugh. It was like, did you phone that one in, buddy? But John Legend redoing Coming to America,
Amazing.
Oh, you liked it?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm talking about she's your queen to be.
Okay.
You didn't like that one either?
I thought that was fine, but the Coming to America, I was just like, motherfucker, like, why? Why did they have to do this?
Hey,
and then we saw him, like, the end credits is just him performing to the camera. I was like, what's going on? John Legend was the fuck.
Can you see I'm coming to America?
It's so good.
Hey, can you see I'm coming to America?
Don't give yourself a hernia.
Yeah.
That sounds like it might hurt. Okay, another thing that felt sloppy was the back and forth between Zamunda and Queens.
Oh yeah,
Because
flying back and
they
forth.
flew to Queens to meet Lavelle. Like Lavelle and his mom Mary. They end up coming back to Zamunda to groom him to be king. Then Lavelle hears Wesley and Eddie talking about how essentially he was able to grab this kid up and like make this marriage work so they can have this peace treaty or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. So then Lavelle goes with the hairdresser who he's fallen in love with, who's a 1-2 cutie pie. I get it. And they fly back to Queens.
I gotta say, beautiful skin.
Beautiful
skin.
Like cocoa butter. Ooh, Jesus Lord.
Cocoa butter skin. I can't wait till I get in your body. Somebody's gotta be on top. That's a Joe song. If you haven't heard it, go check it out.
The only Joe songs I know are I Want to Know and Stutter. And did I ever tell you about my grandmother's reaction to the song Stutter?
No, go ahead, Brandon.
So the hook is like, I can tell you lying, kiss it, you're replying, stutter, stutter. Like, where were you? Why didn't you call? And then I remember I was playing this on the radio. And she's like, why is he asking questions to answers he don't want? And I was like, what? I was like 14. I was like, Jesus Christ. What skeletons do you have in your closet?
Don't tell your papa.
My nana was wild, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I jumped in with that cocoa butter skin thing.
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, they were some beautiful people in this movie. I did love the barbershop scene. First, I was said out loud to myself, I'm like, how are they still alive? But that also made me laugh. Like, just like you just laughed, it made me laugh thinking about it. And then they were just like, they're just still doing the same shit.
Well, I mean, and the fact is that like they've upgraded, so now they're like more socially like.
Oh yeah.
He's like the kid with the flies on. Hey now, you get the fuck up out of my chair talking that shit. You're gonna get canceled.
It was stupid. It was like
really dumb.
It was like, why would they go back in here? Like, they don't need to.
Yeah, 100%.
And stuff. But I still appreciate it. I didn't know what was up with like the music performances. Like you had like Gladys Knight, Salt and Pepper, and Vogue. I was like, what? Dikembe Mutombo was in this movie. I was like, did they just have a huge budget and we're just like, fuck it?
First of all, I saw Mutombo at a club in Atlanta.
How tall is that dude?
Oh, he is tall as fuck. And there was some girl standing next to him. She was literally dick height. I was just like, good on you, man. Good on you. But that's the thing is like all of those, like they're, with the level of their wealth and things like that, they would have all those people. They would literally have Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
They would have Gladys Knight doing it because ex-girlfriend Prize was going overseas to do all these fucking shows, making all this fucking money because that's the only way he can make money. But I mean, so like it kind of lines up because that's actually a thing. So I get it. But like again, Tiana Taylor, the rap thing,
Jesus Christ,
it was so unbelievably corny.
Bad. It was bad. It was rough. I mean, it was.
Ouch.
Oh,
There goes the phone.
yeah, that was your phone, bro.
Yep. Ouchies. Go ahead.
I mean, it was awkward. It was rough. I was kind of like, what's going on? But they were trying to say that they had, chemistry or whatever. But I was like, nah. I mean, from that performance and the way that Tiana Taylor's character was carrying herself, it really threw me off when LaBelle actually finally starts talking to her. And she's like, I'll do whatever you want, King.
Yes.
And I was like, well, is she like low key, like, doing like a, what's it called? Like, I'm doing like this weird thing with my hands. I know it doesn't really help you.
Like hypnotize?
No, not hypnotize. But she infiltrates. Like,
okay, yeah.
She's
yeah,
like infiltrating the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
To pretend like she's going to be subservient.
so she could take over.
And then she could take over, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, the way that Wesley was like smiling and stuff like that. I'm like, this is all part of a long plan. Why doesn't Akeem see this, right?
Yeah.
But then she was like, whatever you want, sir.
Yeah,
and then
she was just like her aunt.
Yeah, she just stayed in line. And I was like, oh, I see what they're doing here, but it didn't match up with the confidence that she had at the beginning.
Yep.
Especially if you look like Tiana Taylor, I feel like you're going to be like, I'm not going to bow down to any motherfucker.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yeah. And that part just, it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Like you said, with the characterization of who she was when she first came in. But at the same time, it's just like, I'm here to see her anytime, just any screen time.
Oh, yeah.
You want to give her.
Your love is fade. That's for goddamn true.
Love is fading.
I do want to salute Jermaine for getting to kiss her, too, because I was like, ooh, Lordy. This is the reason why Brandon Collins ain't going to star in these movies. I remember there was a time when I was like, oh, man, I would love to play Eddie Murphy's son and something. And, I would not be they would kick me outside after that day.
Yep.
They'd be like, Brandon, you still have a boner? It's been 6 hours on set. Put your dick down. I'd be like, I can't help it. There's so many beautiful black women. Ooh.
You know what? I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I think this movie needed to be longer. I think it needed
because it's 110 minutes, and that's with the credits, I think, too.
I think it actually needed to be longer. They needed to spend more time in New York finding him, finding Lavelle, and then convincing him to come to Zamunda, and then more time in Zamunda, kind of structuring all of that. They probably could have gotten rid of the whole him trying to do it their way, but no, I'm going to do it my way thing. Just bring Tracy Morgan, all of those characters straight there, and then it's just like, no, America comes. Because I mean, this is our culture. America comes places, and then we change things to our liking. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like they could have cut out all that bullshit. They could have cut out like a good, I'd say about 20 minutes of that junk. And kind of sped the story up. They could have filled in more of like Eddie Murphy backtracking over all the shit that he did when he was younger in Queens. So we could have found those people. Probably would have saw the sister as well. See what the fuck she was up to.
Maybe see Eric LaSalle.
Yeah,
still selling that Soul Glow.
100%. Yeah. What happened to the Soul Glow empire?
We did hear the song in the flashback.
Yeah,
which I was like, oh.
But so I think that would have been a much better move. It would have been a more cohesive story. And then once we get to the point where Lavelle doesn't want to marry this chick and stuff like that, bringing that all in, I don't think they necessarily need to run away. I think he could just straight up
was
just
weird.
He
they took the royal jet. I was like, what? But how did Akeem get there so fast? Yeah. And no one went with him? Somebody didn't go with him? That was weird.
So, yeah.
You know how jet lag that motherfucker would be? Oh. It was the delirious going to the church. They were all fucking up.
I'm sweating already.
By the way, Arsenio Hall as that fucking preacher was so terrifying.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Like, the fact that LaBelle's chick would still be, into that. Well, I mean, eventually she said, this doesn't feel right. Because I'm like, yeah, look at that creepy dude.
He was up there swaying his robe side to side so you can see his black socks.
He wasn't wearing pants. That was so crazy. But
it was so funny, though.
But that's the thing, though, is, if this didn't feel like a comedy, it would have been funnier. That's what made, when we talked to Jermaine about this, that's what made the first one so good, is because it was like it was like playing everything straight, but it was funny.
Yes.
right? It was like, so people, like, the characters didn't know that they were being funny. It just was like, there was just funny situations and funny comments and stuff. Whereas this one, it felt like people were trying to be funny.
So, I mean, regardless.
But that's also why Tracy Morgan, his personality kind of fits in with this, because he's already crazy. And so the things he was saying and doing, it was just like, yeah, it's par for the course.
All right. So, so one of my things is just like, I felt like with the tone that was set in the film, though, if now we're trying to be funny, Jermaine was too serious, and he was a bit too dramatic, and it broke that that tone that they were doing, and I felt like it kind of took away, because it then created these lulls, and then we're waiting for it to come back up. Now the thing about the first movie is like, yeah, there were dramatic moments, but even throughout those dramatic moments, they were still hitting you. There were little funny things happening, and to your point, like you said, like they weren't trying. It didn't seem like it was trying. It was just happening. So it's just like they were hitting you with all this shit, and then just. It's just coming and coming.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
It's just coming and coming.
Yeah, but like it just seemed seamless. The comedy felt seamless in the first one. This one is just like, okay, now we got to wait to the next funny scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely how it felt. It felt like there was this. It just kind of felt sometimes we were going around loops, like we weren't really getting to anything.
Yeah. For sure.
Like we're just treading water, right? And so for me, it was like, then that doesn't make for a good case as to why the sequel was made. Ultimately, like I read a Hollywood Reporter article today that said Arsenio and Eddie had vowed never to make a sequel to Coming to America. They were like, we it's too good to try to do it, and they said that the fans broke them because of Coming to America themed parties and like constant fan requests and stuff. It's like, but sometimes fans are wrong, man.
Yeah. 100%.
Because you don't want to, like, it's like, just look at Zoolander, look at Anchorman, look at, what's another sequel that,
fucking Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber,
That
exactly.
was terrible.
Like, don't do it. Like, if you have these classic comedies, it's really hard to remake that magic.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if you don't have a story that's airtight, we're like, it's just like fucking, it's like a Simpsons episode in the 90s where every 20 seconds there's a new joke or gag. Like you gotta let things just chill.
I didn't realize the first movie that was rated R.
Really? No, that's crazy because there wasn't that much swearing in it. Are you sure? Oh, because of the titties, the nudity.
It was rated R. This is rated PG-13.
Yeah, there's no titties in this.
Yeah, but it's rated PG-13. I think that I think this is a movie that they need to let them off the. It felt like it was a bit. It felt like everybody was like holding back. For me, I think that you make this movie, just make it an R movie and just let it go. It's like. What happens when Tracy Morgan just comes out and it's just like, my PlayStation better not leave this fucking country. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like I think, and also like the whole Leslie Jones thing is just like you have a lot of R-rated comics in this. Yeah. Let them be R.
Yeah, like Lunel didn't get to say shit.
Yep.
Like, I mean, she had like funny faces though.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, there was people that even like if they had no lines, they made some funny faces or expressions and stuff. Like Trevor Noah didn't need to be in this, but when he was making those faces, like, oh my gosh, it was like, all right, this is funny.
Yeah,
but I agree. I agree. They should have gone more balls to the wall and just like not leave anything on the table if they were going to do this, because it definitely feels like. It feels like it was kind of all over the place. And I know Jermaine mentioned that they did reshoots to like fill in some of the story and make it better and stuff. But I'm just wondering, like, what was the direction on set by Craig Brewer? Was he like, hey, we're going, like, pretend like this is a family drama, but all the characters involved in it are crazy? or was he like, we're making a funny comedy?
A part of me feels like they were trying to make the funny comedy, mainly because they're literally chasing the fucking ghost of the first film. And you know what? And that's the thing. It's like, I think it's so fucking hard. It's so hard. And that's why I don't like when people do this, because you're literally chasing a ghost and you're never going to get it. And it's always going to outrun you.
Never going to get it.
Never going to get it. Never
Good
going to get
callback.
it. Mm-hmm. No. I had to do it, man. That's my favorite.
I know.
Part.
That's a good part, man.
Um,
They look great, by the way.
Who?
In Vogue.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Salt and Pepper. I can't fuck with it ever since I saw that Lifetime movie. It's just
What Lifetime movie?
we reviewed it on Patreon, Tatiana and I. It's bad.
Wait, they're in a Lifetime movie?
Yeah, bro. Salt and Pepper had a Lifetime movie. Wendy Williams had one recently.
Oh God, I heard
Yeah.
one of
It's
those
rough.
is crazy.
It's wild.
So did I ever tell you that Salt and Pepper, they had a reality TV show?
What was it called?
I don't remember.
Pepper and Salt? No, that was stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's dumb.
It's just like the producer was dyslexic and just flipped the names. It was like Pepper and Salt. It's like,
But
do you know who we are?
But back in the day when I was a young youth, they wanted me to go on a date with Pepper.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well, Pepper, not Pepper.
Yeah, Pepper.
What are you, a Dobo?
I'm the opposite of black people. I'm gonna drop that ER hard in there.
Christ.
No, so they wanted me to go on a date with her.
Yeah.
So like, I got called in to go and audition, and then like they sat down, a guy talked to me, whatever, and then afterward, then he revealed to me what this thing is.
Yeah.
He's like, but let me be honest with you, I don't think this is gonna work. He says only because this is the craziest thing I've ever heard in an interview. He's like, only because we think that she would actually like you. We need somebody who's gonna be a complete and utter dirtbag, and just like. Basically, they wanted to set her up on a date with somebody who is so atrocious.
That would make for good TV. I get it.
Yeah,
They're not trying to make The Bachelor and
yeah,
shit.
the reality is reality TV, but they're like, no, we think that she would like you, and that's not what we want.
We want our talent to be miserable, so this isn't going to work out.
I was just like, fair, fair.
Interesting tidbit about filming. Due to his age, James Earl Jones did not travel to the set or film his scenes with Murphy. His scenes were edited in during post-production. That's interesting. There were some glossy, like, kind of post-production things. Like, it was clear in a lot of their scenes that they were clearly in a green screen.
Yeah, 100%.
And for me, that's what kind of sometimes bothers me about watching these movies at home. Because I know if I were watching them on film in a theater, I wouldn't see that until I see them later on like home release, right? But now because a lot of the stuff's being released, I'm like, I just see the CGI because their fucking cameras weren't ready for 4K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, like when Jermaine and the sister are like, talking in the line, it's like, clearly y'all were like in a field in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like you just put in these African trees and stuff like that in the background.
It's just like, oh, so you just got like this little fucking giraffe to walk around in the back, and you just superimpose it in there. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
I mean, but again, it's hard. The way films have to be done these days is just, it's different.
Yeah. I mean, Tatiana was like, they're not going to film in Africa. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the first one filmed some parts in Africa, at least B-roll.
I don't no, because the scene where they were, he was like, oh, let's go for a walk. That's clearly a stage.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the first one?
Yeah, it's clearly a stage.
Well, yeah. I mean, what little Babar walking by. That was a cute callback. Was the big elephant and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, there's some sweet moments in this, but at the same time, I don't know if it justifies 30 plus years later releasing this movie.
Yeah, I guess the thing that really, back at it again, it's just like I felt like Akeem didn't progress from the guy that we saw at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, like to your point, he did regress, and for him to be so clouded about what he was doing to his daughter, it felt weird. It felt a bit weird.
Yeah, so it's like none of that. It just didn't hit with me. Like as I'm sitting there watching it, it's just like, but why is he doing? Like he already knows the folly of this. Like and then the hairdresser talking about like you haven't heard the story about him. Yeah. It's just like then how? Like he's like he may have forgot, but Zamunda didn't. It's just like he'd be reminded of this every fucking day.
Yeah,
because he'd be like a cultural icon for everyone in this entire country. They would be like, hey, look at this guy. He broke the social norms of our country and went and found the woman that he loved, that he really wanted to be with, as opposed to doing it. Like that's too big for them to forget, for him to forget about.
Yeah, it was also weird that like he needed to be reminded by John Amos like what his mother would say or something like that. Like, I was like, yeah, like because we didn't talk about her the whole movie. Like they showed a picture of her. Yeah, like a painting or something. Like that. But I was like, yeah, that was kind of weird too.
Yeah, because the actress passed away. Yeah. She was beautiful too.
But it was like
Aeolian. Aeolian, yeah, that's nice. I like that. That's nice. There was this girl from Africa that I went to college with. Her name was Shazia. Shazia. And every time we saw her, I say, Aeolian. Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
That's terrible.
I literally called her Aeolian from the day I fucking met her. Aeolian. Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
There was an African girl in my screenwriting class with Dylan Stevenson. Shout out to Dylan, friend of the show. And every script she wrote was like a Tyler Perry movie. Where like there was like incest involved. Someone was always cheating on somebody. Typically, it was the dad was fucking the daughter or something like that.
Did you go to were you in a Scream class with fucking Terry McMillan?
It was wild, dude. And I just remember it was just like we were like because we read each other's scripts, right? So the assignment was. I mean, you know about this because we read Shuffle.
Shuffle.
Check out patreon.com, y'all. But yeah, it was like. And she would read the directions in her African accent. She'd be like, Charles realizes that he has been having an affair with his own daughter. Daughter goes, Daddy, no. It was like, holy shit. That was some disturbing shit, man.
And in your African accent is disturbing as well.
Yeah, that I understand.
I understand.
I understand my accent's bad. I get that at this point, everybody. I understand that these are not good. These are not good imitations.
Oh man,
Justin, break down our rating system, baby.
Hold on. Rick Ross in the background.
That was weird.
What weird? What are you, a fucking Asian stereotype from the 60s? That was weird. Yeah, like why? If you're gonna throw Rick Ross in this film, like use him. Like, why was he there in the background?
It was just a cameo.
I know,
but it was like have more of these. Like have more fun with this because Morgan Freeman pops up.
Morgan Freeman was hilarious.
That made me laugh really hard when he was narrating and shit.
He's like, no one ever had sex again. He wipes his eye. I was like, oh boy.
But break down our rating system.
And again, stop calling me baby.
I didn't call you baby that time.
No, you called me baby the first time. Don't worry, I didn't forget.
You missed it,
I did not forget. So, guys, we rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve any popcorn, we throw it into the dog shit pile where we pile piles and piles and piles of dog shit on top of it.
Piles.
So, Brandon, we watch Coming to America 2, starring Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Jermaine Fowler. Who else is in this movie? Just
everybody.
I mean, yeah, it's
every
Tracy
black
Morgan,
actor.
yeah. You know,
except for Chadwick Boseman and Denzel, everyone else is in this shit.
Why'd you have to bring up Chadwick, man?
Because it would have been great if he was in this.
I'm telling you, man. If he popped up as T'Challa, that would have fucking that would have took this movie somewhere else. It would have been great.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that was just such a mess. But either way, what say you, sir?
This gets a medium. This gets a medium. I was initially coming in thinking I'm either going to give it a small. I wasn't going to give it a dog shit, but this gets a medium. It had enough laughs for me to say, okay, like that wasn't a complete waste of almost 2 hours. but it didn't have enough where I'm like, this justifies a sequel to an amazing film that I still watch, and it's one of the few films I still own on DVD because it's just that good. What about you?
All right. It's funny. So, like, I was talking to one of my friends earlier about this. I said, like, as a movie that's following, that's a sequel to a film that from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
For that, I would give it a B-.
Okay.
Right? But as a standalone movie, this is a C-.
I mean, popcorns though.
Yeah. No. So I'm gonna give it a medium. I'm gonna drop it right in the center.
Like a C.
Yeah. So like, I'm gonna give it a C. I think I have some problems with the story, but those nostalgia pieces, they were strong. They were really fucking strong. Yes. And you have to be fair because again, you're chasing a ghost that you're never going to catch. And we kind of just got to watch it and love it for what it is,
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the train wreck that I was fearful of, but it wasn't the fucking amazing sequel that it could have been. With this talented cast, this could have been a home run. Yeah. Especially seeing what they did with Dolomite. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the same creative team, a lot of the same people in front of the camera. Like, that was hilarious. I actually still sometimes go back and watch Wesley filming, like, directing that shit. And just his reaction as he's drinking a screwdriver. And he's just like watching Eddie Murphy try to do this kung fu fighting. It's just like, is there any way to make him look good? And the white kid's like, no.
He's like, that was great.
Justin, how could people follow you, baby?
Guys, if Jackson.
Jackson. You keep calling me your son.
If Brandon doesn't stop calling me baby, one of these days I'm gonna choke him on this. Why did I say set? Jesus Christ!
You're losing your mind.
I am. Guys, you can follow me at JBrownDidIt on Twitter and Instagram. Brandon.
You all can follow me at American Counts, AmericanCounts.com. You can follow everything about the show on Medium Popcorn, Medium P Podcast on all social media platforms, and MediumPopcorn.com.
And then, if you're feeling extra froggy,
that's right. How do they support the
Patreon? Show? Patreon.com/MediumPopcorn. You can go on there and get yourself some extra episodes.
Yeah, some sweet videos, some sweet episodes. If you want new content every week, you got to sign up for Patreon.
That's where it's at.
But the thing is, though, if we get enough Patriots,
what we gonna do?
If we get up to 200,
what's gonna happen, man?
We'll go back to re-releasing a new episode on all channels every week.
Oh shit, baby.
So we need to get that threshold, y'all. Help us meet that goal. Okay, this is a call to arms. Don't actually arm yourself. Arm yourself with the Patreon app on your device and sign up for us. Medium P Podcast.
Take out your little pea shooter, baby.
All right, so that's our episode on Coming to America.
And guys, tell us what you think. What did you think about Coming to America? Let us know. 347-508-0978.
That's right.
Tell us all about what you think, what you love, and also tpublic.com/mediumpopcorn. Grab some swag. Whap!
Do it and do it. The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
She's your queen to be. A queen to be forever, a queen who does whatever His Highness desire. John Legend did it better.
Medium popcorn, we are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn, woo! You haven't seen it, well we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.